Welcome to part 3 of my short story, Foreign Research. One last thing, I yelled from my hiding spot. What was the patch of flowers outside if you're not dead? The one before you. It makes it seem like it's my body. And how do we absorb others' energy? Well, it can't help you now, so I'll tell you. The special fertilizer from our corpses makes for an excellent people fertilizer as well. He came charging at me. I suppose he wanted to just beat me to death. I started moving backwards along the shelves, and my hand found a cricket bat, or paddle, or whatever it is. I jumped out from my cover and swung hard, but he wasn't there. He wasn't anywhere. I turned and saw him standing right next to me, with both We both cocked our arms back and punched. My hand smashed against the mirror as I felt like an idiot. Then he smacked my spine with a cricket thing of his own. I turned around and swung mine as he swung his. They collided in the air, and his was knocked out of his hand. I whipped mine around again over my head, aiming for his neck. He grabbed it by his hand and twisted it out of my grasp. He threw it on the floor and grabbed my shirt and the crotch of my pants. I was thrown up out the cellar doors. I landed in the bed of flowers and apologized that they were murdered. I picked myself up and hid in the bushes. He came up the stairs and out the doors after me. I coughed, then said, "Why are you doing this? Are you happy with your life, Mark? Because I'm not. We were cheated at birth and sent here to do what? Nothing. Well, I'm going to make the most of my sentence in hell. If you want, you're welcome to join me. That, or I can make you suffer the worst death imaginable. Your choice." I watched him walk around the yard looking for me. I once heard that the worst death of all is no death at all. All right, boy, would you rather I make you suffer and just wish for the sweet release? He was facing the other way, so I quickly darted into the house and hid behind the door. When I heard him coming, I slammed it in his face, and he fell back. I grabbed a knife from the drawer and ran upstairs and hid behind a corner. He walked around the main level for a few minutes until he figured I wasn't there. Then he ran up the stairs. Once he was at the top, I turned the corner and kicked him in the chest. He grabbed my foot and pulled me down with him. But as I fell, I stabbed the knife into the floor and held on as I was pulled. The knife fell and my shoe came off in his hands. He tumbled down the stairs and slammed his head on the door. But then he got up and dusted himself off. He looked up and laughed maniacally at me. "Give it up, boy. You can't beat me. I'm too powerful," he said. I stood up and turned toward him. I took off my remaining shoe and chucked it down the stairs. He blocked that, but right after, I'd thrown the knife, which stabbed him in the shoulder. He pulled it out and threw it to the ground. He laughed again. Then I darted backwards, going room to room, looking for a better weapon. He waited a minute and slowly started up the stairs. When he reached the top step, I was waiting at the opposite end of the long hallway. I had found a metal pipe in one of the rooms, and was holding it like a two-handed sword. "I swear to you that I'm going to leave here alive," I said. "Only one of us can." I'm not going to kill you, but I will defeat you, and I will get Kyle and take him home. You will never do this to anyone ever again. I can promise you that. If you do not kill me, then you cannot defeat me, and you cannot stop me from killing you and your friend, and the countless others in the future. Just watch me. He gave a loud grunt and charged at me. I planted my feet firmly on the ground and got ready to defend my life. I looked all around me for a possible scapegoat and I saw a pipe in the wall next to me. I swung at it with all my might, and it burst open. Steam came shooting out, and it made a blurry white wall between he and I. "That won't save you. Nothing can." I dropped to the floor and hugged the wall. He came bursting through the steam wall and smashed right through the window above me. I stood up and looked out. We were 3 stories up somehow, and on the ground was a pile of sharp gardening tools. Up against the side of the house, holding on to a piece of broken siding that was sticking out. Up against the side of the house, holding on to a piece of broken siding that was sticking out, was my new nemesis. "Quip, help me, you win. I'll stop killing people and I'll leave you alone," he begged. Letting him fall is murder in my book, so I leaned out the window and reached my hand down to help him up. He lifted one hand up and grabbed mine. Finally, we reached each other and he changed back into the old man. Then he yanked me out the windows. As I flew out, I grabbed onto the back of his shirt and ripped him off the side of the house. Then all of a sudden, I felt so sick and my limbs started shrinking. Then my torso and head too. I grew a beak and wings and feathers all over my body. I had turned into a hawk, and I had no idea how. He kept falling and flew across the yard in a flash. I grew back into myself and hit the ground as I tried to land. I turned around and saw his body impaled by gardening tools. He'll be soil soon enough. I ran into the cellar for Kyle. He was still unconscious. I untied him and threw him over my shoulder. Then I got my shoes from the bottom of the staircase and slipped them on. I put Kyle and Roxy and then walked around and got in the driver's seat. Once we were back at Kyle's house, I turned the car off. I took a deep breath and sighed. Not only am I an alien, now I'm a murderer too. Why can't I just have the slightest bit of normalcy in my life? I don't know if I can face anyone after that, and I know I'm never going on another extraction as long as I live. And Kyle? He's going to be so confused. Kyle, I'm sorry I got you into this mess. I'm just glad nothing happened to you or me. I wish I could explain it to you, but I can't. I just feel like they'd know. And I can't put that burden on you. It won't do you any good to know, and I can't make you keep a secret like that. I just wish you didn't want to know so badly. It's not, well, it wasn't that interesting. Now apparently I can shapeshift though. You should have seen me fight him, dude. When I turned into a freaking hawk, that was so sick. He was still unconscious. I needed to lie down. I had to get him inside. I punched him in the arm, but he didn't budge. That must have been a heavy vase. I sighed. I just want to tell everyone. Only so I don't have to hide it. That I'm an alien. You're a what? He said as he lifted his head up, mouth agape. Oh crap. Did I just say that out loud? Okay. That was foreign research. And I had come up with that idea. Just like really simple, and then the teacher's like, okay, you gotta write a short story. So I was like going through my list of story ideas, just whatever they are, like screenplay or novel or just possibly short story, and they're just all on one list. And I was like, oh, okay, that one, foreign research. So I went with that. And I'm possibly gonna make it a series, or we'll just leave it with that. I don't know yet. Right now I'm working on Stefan Al, which I read the first chapter of in a video a week and a half ago on James McJohn's. So if you didn't see that, go watch it. And yeah, I'll try to get some more stuff to you soon. See ya.